good evening. My name is Debbie Jacobs, and I thought I would do a video because, here I post about healing from depression, anxiety, and bipolar, accomplishing positive thoughts and healthy self esteem, and how I changed my thoughts to accomplish that. Louise Hay says, change your thoughts, change your life. And I said, really? Let me test that. And it's true. I changed my thoughts. I changed all my negative thoughts. It was very difficult to do. I had to learn new coping skills as well because anger, worry, fear, anxiety, insecurity, doubt, shame, guilt, those are all ineffective negative coping skills that are generated by negative thinking and create negative thoughts. So for me to accomplish positive thinking, I had to get rid of all my negative, ineffective coping skills. And I, replaced them with more effective ways of handling situations, like with assertiveness, with communication skills, with patience, by letting things go, by forgiveness, there's other ways of dealing with situations than anger, and basically that's what I sought to figure out. How can I handle these situations without anger? How can I handle these situations without fear? How can I handle these situations without insecurity? Confidence. Look at that, and for fear, courage. Hey, but basically, so not only did I change my coping skills, but I had to address my negative thoughts, and I had to get rid of my negative thoughts, and train my mind to think serving my highest good, not putting me down all the time, and not turned against me. My mind was my worst enemy, and I had to make it my best friend. And let me tell you something, making it my best friend, entailed getting rid of all the negative thoughts. And you know what? Our negative thoughts can go right in the garbage. We don't need them. We don't need them. They don't serve us at all, And actually, I did this like 3 years ago. And now I find myself in a really challenging situation. And I'm like, wow, thank God I don't have, my negative thoughts flooding me and beating me up and putting me down and making me upset because I'm going through a difficult time. And I don't need my mind making it worse, and that's what positive thoughts and, and healthy self-esteem, accomplish. Thank God, because if I had my negative thoughts, for sure I would have committed suicide, for sure. I wouldn't have been able to escape them. They're in our head, and things are so bad, that of course, it would have gone to that. It would have, pushed to that, and not having effective coping skills and having low self-esteem is not a good combination. It's a recipe for disaster. When disaster hits, you need your positive thoughts, your effective positive coping skills, and your healthy self-esteem to get you through it. And I'm really, getting through it. So it's so funny that people not only, I healed myself from depression, anxiety, and bipolar, and then the shit really hit the fan. And now I'm using all these positive thoughts and my effective coping skills just to get through the difficult times. If I had bipolar, depression, and anxiety, I would have been dead. If I was just a regular negative thinker, I would have been dead. It really, my positive thoughts is what saved me. I believe, I give it credit. And I notice the difference, it is really, going from a horrible situation to being okay. And if I had my negative thoughts, it would have made a horrible situation a million times worse. And I could have ended up in suicide. I still am like, God damn, I'm in a really bad place, but, with positive thoughts, optimism is not far away. things can get better, things can improve, move forward. I have all the coping skills to get me through a difficult time, you know? And these are coping skills that I didn't learn in childhood. The coping skills that I learned in childhood, led me to depression, anxiety, and bipolar. So, I am a big fan of, positive thinking, positive, effective coping skills, and healthy self esteem to navigate through life. It makes it so much better, easier. I mean, it took a lot of work to accomplish, but it really is. It's the way that we're meant to be. It's our authentic self, you know, and it's more enjoyable. It's definitely more enjoyable than negative thoughts. And let me tell you something. We live in a negative world. If we want to live in a positive world, we have to start, going through the healing process. How else are we going to live in a positive world? It's not going to change itself, just like the mind doesn't change itself. The mind doesn't go from a negative mind, one day, and then it's a positive mind the next day. No, it's a transformation of self. It's a process of clearing out the negativity and then reprogramming and learning, positive thinking. It doesn't happen easily at all, but it is really worth it. It cured me of my depression, anxiety, and bipolar. And I believe that it can help other people accomplish the same. And people that don't even have that aren't diagnosed with mental illness, and have negative thoughts, they can change their thoughts to positive thinking too. And people want to do it if they have kids. So they can teach their kids positive thinking and healthy self esteem and not negative thinking and low self esteem. That doesn't make for a good childhood. And it definitely doesn't make for a good life. Seeing people living with negative thoughts, seeing adults, seeing people in their 40s, with their like negative thinking driving their experience, and seeing how they, warp their reality. They warp their reality based on their, experiences, not based on what's real, like crazy, crazy stuff. And I don't think that parents would want it for their kids. Parents don't even want it for themselves, but they're unconscious and they already have negative thoughts. But I wish it was easier to, encourage people to go through the healing process and accomplish positive thoughts, because you have one life. You don't want to go through life with negative thoughts. You want to go through life with positive thoughts. It's life changing. I mean, that's the difference between being in your ego self and being in your beautiful, authentic self. And the ego self for me was depression, anxiety, and bipolar. And now I'm in my authentic self. And it is so much better. No insecurity, no doubting myself, having good confidence, having healthy self esteem, feeling good about myself, loving myself. Having effective communication skills, having effective, problem solving skills, managing my anger so I'm not like a loose cannon like I was. I had big anger problems. I guess the anger, bipolar rage or whatever. But let me tell you something. People they don't even know how they're created. I mean, I didn't have, depression, anxiety, and bipolar wasn't a mental illness. It was an outcome of my coping skills and my thinking. And my parents need mastery. Parents don't have mastery. If parents don't have mastery, kids aren't going to have mastery. And you know what? If they don't know their emotions, if they can't control their emotions, they end up with emotional problems. But in society, emotional problems or behavioral problems get diagnosed as mental illness. That's not mental illness. That is a very logical, explanation to why a kid is acting this way. When you have your boundaries crossed and you're forced against your will, and people can't treat people any way they want. I mean, I know I'm getting a little off topic here, but it factors in people that, parents don't know what to teach kids. Kids aren't going to figure it out. and they can end up with mental illness because parents didn't teach them how to effectively manage their emotions, how to stay calm, how to not develop, how to develop courage and not fear, how to develop effective coping skills and behaviors and not ineffective ones like shyness or sensitivity. You have to teach a kid how not to be shy, or they're going to be shy if they're shy. If they end up, if a child is getting, is acting shy, I would encourage them not to, because you don't want to end up developing problems in your personality. And I had shyness, until almost 40, and it didn't serve me. I wouldn't recommend it. It shoots you in the foot. Just, encourage confidence. Help them with their their interpersonal skills, like figure out what you need to teach them so they don't fall into shyness and ingraining it in the foundation of their being. When I was a kid, I was like, oh, she's shy, oh, she's shy, oh, she's shy. Well, you get them out of being shy so they don't develop it as a behavior, because it's not that there's anything wrong with being shy, but it's a lack of skills that they are shy. That's why. And give them the skills so they don't create shyness, because shyness doesn't serve them. It doesn't help them. It gets in the way of their happiness. That's what I'm saying. So basically, I just wanted to do a video because, I am really like in the dumps, really. I cured myself of depression, anxiety, and bipolar. I thought I'd be so happy, and life is just really, throwing me curveballs, and I'm like, just, in defense mechanism, like, oh my God, like the shit is hitting the fan, and I'm trying to use my effective coping skills to get through these difficulties, to get to my happiness. I thought I was gonna get to my happiness, and I'm actually, I'm a lot happier not to be in depression, anxiety, and bipolar, but my life is actually worse. I had a great life when I was in depression, anxiety, and bipolar. Just my thoughts, tore it up. But now that my thoughts are like positive and aligned with my highest good, I said, what am I doing in this basement by myself? My boyfriend just broke up with me, and I have no job, or, like I'm totally by myself. Like, what the hell's that? So my life isn't as good, but thank God my coping skills, my self-esteem, my positivity, is keep getting me through this. And I thought I would do a video to share, because if I was in depression, anxiety, and bipolar, you could tell that in my energy, in my facial expression, in how I'm handling the situation, then I'm fine, and even though it's difficult, I'm not like, an emotional wreck. I'm not, in breakdown. My life is in breakdown, but I'm not in breakdown, and I'm not a mess. I'm not, like killing myself, you know what I mean? So, and I think, like, maybe that's the point of this difficult time, is to really show the value of positive thoughts and healthy self-esteem. I couldn't be, in a worse situation. If I had my negative thoughts a long time ago, I would have, been like, fuck it, and just kill myself, because it's really hard, because negative thoughts turn on you, like, oh my God, I was like, suicidal when my life was good. You know what I mean? And now my life is not good, but I'm okay because I don't have my negative thoughts. And that's why I say, positive thoughts is the cure for depression, anxiety, and bipolar. And I believe, mental illness. If you could change your thoughts and have positive thoughts, mental illness doesn't exist in positive thoughts. And neither does suicide or self-harm. If you can accomplish positive thoughts and healthy self-esteem, you're safe. You've made the transformation. You've healed yourself, and you've obtained mastery of the mind and mastery of self, and you have effective coping skills, and you have effective thinking, and that's what we need to get us through life, through the good times and the bad times. And I'm optimistic that there'll be good times ahead. That's positive thinking. negative thinking is like, oh my God, my life is over, blah, blah, blah. I'm never gonna, blah, blah, blah. Shh. Kill yourself. That's not, um, that's not safe. It's not you, and it's not reality. It's your thoughts. People are committing suicide because of their thoughts, not because of their life, and not because of them, because of their negative conditioning. Suicide is not a solution. It's a bigger problem. You know, and positive thinkers solve problems. Negative thinkers create problems. And I mean, if I have to be in the situation, and I do, I don't like to. It's I mean, it's like major problems that are going on, but I am able to handle it. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to upset myself. I don't want to create, unhappiness for me. That's more important than, acknowledging things that didn't go my way. I see that things didn't go my way, but I got to still handle it so that I keep myself safe and I keep myself, optimistic and moving forward. And that's what positive thoughts do. Negative thoughts would kill you. So, and I'm trying to get people to heal and accomplish positive thoughts and healthy self-esteem and get away from negative thoughts and low self-esteem, and then teach that to their kids, not thinking from hurt. So all right, my name is Debbie Jacobs. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.